Hey guys, it's me, my face, and stuff. Today's happy dance is brought to us by coffee because I am out of alcohol. But it's on its way. We'll be alright. If you're new here, my name is Andrea and this is a channel about cross stitch and any other thing that flies into my head while I'm sitting here. If you are a returning visitor, you know how it goes. Thanks for coming back. I'm about a month behind in what I thought was going to be monthly videos. I know, you know, there's no excuse. It's just, let us jump into the cross stitching. The first thing I have to show you is actually a finish. This is Summer Sampler from Twin Peaks Primitives. I got this out of one of the Punch Stitch and Primitive Stitcher magazines. And I finished it. Not too shabby. Last week, I mistakenly identified the purple as Gloriana. It is not. It is Planet Earth Fiber Peak 1096. I don't know what a lot of that means, but that's what it is. I do have Gloriana around here somewhere. I just chose not to use it. I liked this one better. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. I kind of want to make a pillow, but where am I going to put a pillow? Like, I'm not a dough bowler. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe I was looking at these the other day. I don't know if I've mentioned, but I have a Stitchy godmother and she makes me things. She made me these little ornaments and they're like flat pillows. And I like that. But I don't know if maybe this is too big to do that way. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. The next thing I worked on is the Festive Forest. This is from the Blue Flower. And this is actually from 2024 Jingle Ball. And it was the class that I took with her. And I made a little progress. I filled in the reindeer and some more of the background. I gotta tell you, I love stitching on this. I love stitching on it. It is a slow stitch and I don't know why. You know, it's not difficult. It's not too many color changes or anything, but I find that like I'll work on it for a whole evening and only have like a few of those little tree bits done. I don't know, but I'm enjoying stitching it, so I really don't care how long it goes on for. But I do kind of want to finish it and make it into I'll put a picture up. I call it a gazebo. Somebody else is calling it a muffin. I don't know. Whatever it is, I want it. Although I guess if I had the choice, I would rather have a muffin than a gazebo. The next thing that I worked on is Pandemic Sampler. This is from, I think it's just Pandemic, from Long Dog Samplers. Andrea, you can do this. You've been speaking English your whole damn life. Again, it was a lot of, I know that I kind of brought things down here. I 700% was going to sit down with the previous images and write down what I worked on each thing. Did I do that? No. But I did, man, I know that I extended some of this. I know I filled in a lot more of this big flower bouquet. But I think I have decided, I am just going to do all the black first. Because this is a big motif and I don't really like the colors. I don't know. It makes it feel Christmassy and I don't want that. So rather than go through and keep picking colors that I may end up not liking there in the end. I'm going to do all the framework and then fill in the pops of color. And I think that will help me distribute them better and to think and say, okay, maybe I don't want to make something, maybe I don't want to make, maybe I don't want to add color up here, but I want to fill in some of this braiding in color rather than do like an actual motif, do the negative space in a color. I have the rest of my life to figure it out because I will be stitching on this for the rest of my life. You want to talk about my other 2 long dogs? No, you do not. No, you do not. If you don't have at least 3 long dogs going at one time, what are you even doing with your days? Explain that to me. If Julia could just take a minute and stop being so good at this, the rest of us might be able to catch up. The next thing I worked on, hold on to your pants, a mill hill that I started. I don't even know when I started. If I can figure it out, it'll be up here. It's embarrassing. I really love the way the mill hills look, but I always had trouble stitching on the perforated paper. I would hold it and I would either crunch it and make it bad, or I would be trying to be so delicate with it that I would be stitching and pulling it out of my own hand. It was a scene. It was a whole scene. But I went on Etsy and I got one of these magnetic doohas. If you have an opportunity in your life to get a magnetic dooha, do that. Because look at how much, I gotta get behind it, or I should, my God, I'm one of those floss tubers. But I got some actual, progress done. Did I get a lot of progress done? Keep it to yourself. These aren't questions we need to ask. But, it was so much easier to stitch on here. What I think I do need to do, and tell me if you do mill hills, I think what I need to do is use a bigger needle, because when I come up from the bottom, by the time my hand gets to the top, it's already fallen out. That gets frustrating. And that's why I stopped stitching on it again, was because I was just like, I can't stop. It was not cooperating with me. But I got the magnetic dooha. I will link below the shop that I got this from on Etsy. I want to say it came from the Ukraine, or I want to say it was made in the Ukraine. It may have shipped from the US, but either way, I'll put the thing in the thing. And I really want to get that done because I have 2 more, and I asked for those as a gift. So I should probably do them. And that's pretty much it for the whips that I worked on. The other thing that I have here is a shop model that I have been working on. Because I, often forget to tell people I have an Etsy store. There's nothing big going on in it, but I do have one. And I was pretty confident putting up this pattern without having stitched it yet. Because 1, I knew I was going to stitch it, and 2, it's a monochrome. There's not a lot of nuance here. But I did start it, and there's not much to see as far as you don't know what that is. Half the time, I don't know what that is. But I'm going to tell you, that's kind of the fun of it. It's almost so abstract that when something does, I think up in here, there's a hand, and it was like I was finished with it and looked at it from across the room. It's a lot of likes in one sentence. I said, oh, it's a hand. I get it. I see it. So I think once this is up, once it's framed, I think this is going to look really neat. I also decided, because it's a shop model, to go outside of my comfort zone and not do it in black or do it on black with white. This is some 819? Hold, please. 918. I was close. So yeah, this is, I kind of thought it maybe gave a kind of coppery sort of feel to it. I don't know. We'll find out when it's done. I'm just doing this on Ivory Ada. But I mean, you can stitch this on anything. It's all full stitches. There's nothing weird. You just sit and go. So I've been enjoying stitching on this, and hopefully I'll get it finished and get a picture of it up into the shop so that people can actually see that this is stitchable and it looks rational once it's done. Because there are some out there that I look at them and I say, there's absolutely no way that's going to work. But you never know. While I have this out, because I'm all over the damn house. I've been trying to put all the things I need in the bag with the project so that I can just pick it up and go downstairs. Or I can just pick it up and sit down and watch something without having to assemble all of my stuff. So what I have been doing, let me get this out too. My sister made this for me. I think she made it for me. She may have just been having fun. But look how, I mean, come on. Between the skulls and the scissors, it's almost like she's met me, right? And it is just like a little needle book, but it's the right size that I can hold an ort catcher. Somebody gave this to me at the Stitch New England retreat last year. I apologize, I do not remember who. If you make cute little things like this and give them out, put your name on the bottom. Just like print out some mailing labels or something. Donate to the ASPCA, because I will tell you that I have so many stickers with my name on them. Just so that people can remember who gave them these things. But I digress. This is, it's just a little needle book, and it's got, you know, your pocket, and it's got your pocket, and it is just big enough to hold scissors, needles, you know, my skeins of floss, the needle that I'm working with, and the ort catcher. The ort catcher goes in there, and it's just the right size. I just dropped something because I'm fooling around with it. But I just have to say that if you have the chance to, I would love it if she would make 1,000 of them and we could sell them. But she has a life, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you go that route, see how much you can fit in here, because it's a lot. It's actually a lot. I need to find that. Oh, it's way over there. To heck with it. I'll get it later. Another thing I have for the shop is I now have a model stitcher. My sister Janet stitched this up. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is what happens when your model stitcher goes rogue and picks her own colors. So I have to put the pattern, I have that color. I need to add it to the pattern in case anybody wants to do this colorway. But yeah, how cute did that come out? I'm like, and she did it on sparkly fabric, another choice that I never would have made, but it's adorable. It's almost watery. If this was like blue and sparkly, that would look great. So yeah, if you're into fishies, which I'm told is the thing these days. All the kids are into fisherman core or something. I don't know what kids are into anymore. I also wanted to show that I finally did finish my Biscornu. That was actually the blue flower. I'm thinking. The blue flower. Oh no, I dropped a pin. Oh God, okay. Stop touching them. This was the 2023 Jingle Ball project that I actually had finished. I did all the stitching. I just hadn't put it together. And then when I put it together, I didn't have the right button. Anyway, I got the button. Long story, painful story short, I got the button. And I'm happy with it. I chose not to put a button on the bottom because I did. But I think it came out really cute. These pins, I got these pins somewhere, but I don't know where. maybe it was in the Smalls Exchange. I don't know, but I don't know where they come from, so I can't point you towards them. They may have been. Let me hide here. They may have been. I don't know if that's working. They may have just been handmade, right for the retreat. But I finished it. It's a Biscornu. It looks like a Biscornu. It does all the things a Biscornu is supposed to do. Nobody would walk by this and think, who thought they were making a Biscornu? Because it looks right. I did it. One thing I say a lot in my videos is, I'm not sure if I told you about this before, because I don't remember what I did yesterday. But I have been going to Michael's for many years and getting only the most special things framed, because their custom framing is so expensive. So expensive. I was paying like $125 to get small things, right? Right? Yeah. Then I found out, I was X number of days old when I found out that you can actually pick frames off the floor. You know, the ones that are like buy one, get one free. The ones that, yeah. So I have been doing that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a little clip here. I went through and I took pictures of everything that I've had framed recently, or even not so recently. But I'm going to do that as a voiceover because I'm not going to pull them all off the walls and, I'll never get them back up. They'll just sit here for the rest of our lives. So that will be here.
Well, hello there. This is voiceover Andrea. Not to be confused with video Andrea or editing Andrea. We're all very different people. Anyway, I'm here to walk you through some of the things that video Andrea has framed over the past, I don't know how many whatevers. I will give you all the information I have on these patterns. I don't always know if they're out of print, but we'll have to deal with it. The first one is out of print. This is Kindred Spirits. It is from the Primitive Needle. And I think I got this off of eBay. I'm pretty sure I got it off eBay. And it really just sort of sat in the under the bed box for ages. And I finally just took it out. I think that is just a dollar store frame. And I just put it in there just to have done something. So at least it is up and displayed. This one actually won't be living with me for much longer. This is the Metta Prayer, and I charted that out so that I could give it as a gift to my longtime friend and therapist, Ellen. I'm not going to be seeing her after this next visit, so I thought I would give this to her since she's the one who gave me this prayer. I think it came out really cute. I used variegated thread for the flowers, and I just tried to keep it simple, and I like how it came out. I'm well aware there's a gap in the middle of the page. It's fine. It's a prayer. It's fine. Let us go move with ease. I should add in here that this pattern is not available. I just drafted it for my own use. Oh, I am so in love with this one. This is Midnight Watch from Blackbird Designs. No one has ever gone wrong doing a Blackbird design. This was actually a gift from Lisa, batshit crazy, bat stitch crazy. Sorry about that. I did it on 20 count vintage country mocha, Ada, and the colors are all called for. This is one that I brought to Michael's and had them frame it into a frame right off the shelf. And I like it because it's simple and doesn't look too fussy. And I think I could look at that all day, but we won't. This one is Oh Christmas Tree. It is by All Through the Night. I did it on 40 count lentil from Lakeside Linens, which was definitely a gift because I never would have bought that. I don't know where to look for that. All the colors are called for. It's a variegated green Valdani, which was fine to stitch with. It's a lot like Weeks in how it feels. And this I actually started on Christmas Eve 2023, and I finished it, you know, after that. I'm so happy with this because this is a frame that if I had bought the custom one, it would have cost me $200 to frame this thing. And instead, I think this one was on sale for like 25. Really couldn't argue with that. So it came out really nice. I think it's neutral enough that it can stay out all year, even though obviously it is a Christmas tree. Um, so right now it is in my kitchen. I'm not sure where I want it to be permanently. I'll figure it out. This one is Rack Stack. It is from Plum Street Samplers. And I love these stack patterns, and I'm a sucker for things with antlers. So this was right up my alley. I did not frame this well. I framed this myself with a frame that I bought from Amazon, which is just clearly too small. I was okay with it touching the edges on side to side, but wasn't thinking top and bottom. So I'm just going to order a different frame and put it into that one. That's why I haven't sent it back downstairs with the Christmas stuff. Um, well, when I like it. I don't think there's any reason I can't leave it out, but also it's to remind me that I need to get a different frame. Otherwise, I think this was all like I did it on a light blue even weave that I'm not quite sure where I got. Um, and I don't know. I honestly don't know if those were the called for colors, so I probably shouldn't even bring it up. Let's forget I did that. This next one is Suffrage Act. It is from Little House Needleworks. And I framed this one myself. You can tell. Don't act like you can't. I used my if you can't center it, make it look like you meant for it to be off center kind of thing. So there's a little strip of lace at the bottom. This is just kind of set in a frame, so I can change that whenever I get tired of looking at it. Can't do much about the fact that I stitched it on linen that I burnt. I burnt it. I can't, I was coffee, I was tea dyeing. I put it in the oven and I burnt it. But it looks good. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's seen some stuff. That's all. This was great to stitch. I loved it. I think might have been my first time using cherry cobbler on the bricks, and I fell in love with it. That was my favorite part, was the bricks. I mean, and getting to vote. That's important. This is one of my favorites. This is the Roladex Mourning Sampler from Bendy Stitchy. She collaborated with Roladex to put this all together, and I love it. I'm here for it. I think this was actually a pattern that I hemmed and hawed and kvetched so much about the color that I wanted to use for the border that Michelle broke down and mailed it to me. I think that is a thing that happened. And I think the note in there was simply like just use this. So yeah, but I really enjoyed stitching this. I enjoyed the variegation, and that tree is just everything. And you know, it's a little emo without being My Chemical Romance emo. So I enjoy that a lot. I like walking past it in the hallway and seeing it hung up. That was actually a frame that I got from Amazon and just framed it myself. That one I haven't done too bad at. So I got one. The last one I have to show you is the one that I just love the most. Obviously, I have worked on this longer than I worked on anything else. This is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. It is from Carriage House Samplings, and it is amazing. I did this on 40 count mallow with, I believe, most of the called for colors. I may have swapped some things out here and there. Um, but it came out so good, and I couldn't stand the idea of it just sitting in an under the bed box getting wrinkled. Um, so I brought it to Michael's, and this frame was actually like 49 marked down to 39 with 50% off. And I think I had a $5, rewards voucher. It was so cheap. It was so cheap. I was very excited. Um, so this cost very little to have framed, and I think it came out great. It is not easy to frame something that large and keep it all even and make it's a lot better than I would have done. And I think the frame is right for it. I was looking at big black heavy frames because I wanted it to be Halloween and dreary, and it just didn't seem to want that. It was very rustic and primitive and brown seemed to make sense. So that's what I did. I think after this, I might be just delusional enough to do another Hawk Run Hollow. I believe I have Farms and Spring. I'm thinking I might do Spring. It's not necessarily, it's like not one I would have picked out, but since I have it, I want to stitch it. Um, so I may have companion pieces to this littered all over the house. And wouldn't that be a wonderful problem to have? Next, I'm going to send you to a video that I actually recorded several weeks ago. Um, it is the giveaway for Misfortune that I offered in a prior video, just so that you can see on the up and up that it got drawn and it has already been sent to the person who won, and that's that. All right. Well, I didn't know I was going to need a voiceover for this, but here we are. This is me counting up the rows that we need. We need 2 through 8. And we ask Google to generate that random number. And eventually I hit the button and get a 3. And 3 was Serrana Stitches. And I believe that she had provided her address. So I popped it in the mail, and that was that. So congratulations.
Voiceover Andrea is always so much nicer than my face Andrea. She's more serene, I think. Anyway, I think that is all I have to show you. Things have been pretty good. I continue on my medication. I continue not to hurt anybody, so that's nice. I am actually, and if you watched the clip, you'll see I mentioned the pattern that I have made for my long suffering therapist. We're going to pause. We're going to call it a pause. Going to see her, just to see, what happens. Do I crawl back under the bed, or do I fiercely run around like a crazy person, which is my true persona, to be fair. So we're going to see what happens there. I have gotten pretty good. I made myself my own tracker of things I want to do every day. And some of them are just, take your medicine, pull a tarot card. What's the date? Look at the moon phase. Did you read any books today? Those kind of things that I want to try to do each day. And so when I'm recording things, I almost have to acknowledge, no, I did not leave the house today. Or no, I did not burn either a candle or incense with intent. Something. My go-to now is writing somebody's name on a piece of paper and go away and burning that with intent. It's the little things. So I think if I can pay attention to what I'm doing on a daily basis, it's going to be easier for me to see when, oh, wow, it's been a week and a half and you haven't left the house. You know, oh, look, you haven't had real clothes on in a week because you walk around in your stretchy pants because you're not leaving the house. And that sort of thing. And it'll also give me an opportunity. I don't have to sit down every night and think through the tarot pulls. I can almost like kind of look at them as a progression and say, oh, look, that one keeps coming up. Or I wonder what these two mean, you know, in conjunction with each other. Or is there any connection here? Rather than have to sit down every night, pull the card, look about it, think about it, look up what the book says the meaning is, decide whether I agree with that. That was a lot of brain power. It's a lot of brain power. I don't always have it at my disposal. So this is easier. So we'll see how that goes. If this really starts to work for me, what I may do is offer it or something like it as a PDF in either the Etsy shop or the Amazon on demand thing. So I know this is a quick video, but I think that's about all I have for you. I didn't work on very many projects, but I did do a fair amount on the ones that I worked on. I would like to do a whip parade. I know. I would like to do a whip parade, and then I would like to do what I think I did a few years ago was pick a month and commit to at least putting a length of thread into each of the whips. Hopefully with the idea of saying, I don't want to put a length of thread in this. It's time to let it go. I will not find it. The birdhouse one. That's one I could probably skip. But anyway, that's my plan. We know what happens when I plan. Nothing good. Although in today's world, how would you notice? And breathe. Anyway, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes, although they have been sparse lately. And thank you, as always, for your comments. I read every single one of them, and I try to at least acknowledge and respond to them. But thank you. That is part of what makes us a community, and I appreciate that. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.